Hi, I'm Chris Blair. I'm the president of Indianapolis Ambassadors, and I'm here at the Indiana Medical History Museum with Sarah Halter, executive director. Thank you for inviting the Indianapolis Ambassadors to have our general meeting here and learn about your facility. We're excited to be here.
Thank you for coming. We're excited to have you.
This museum, can you tell us about the history of it?
Yeah, we are housed in the 1896 pathological department of what was later called Central State Hospital here in Indianapolis. The building was a cutting-edge research facility when it opened. It got national attention for how modern it was, and it was only the second pathology laboratory of its kind in the United States. But unfortunately, the hospital's limited funds couldn't be stretched far enough to really maintain it and to modernize it over the years as new technologies became available. So when it closed as a lab in 1968, really hadn't changed very much since 1896. So within a year, it reopened as the museum. And we're very authentic in a way that a lot of house museums are not. We do operate like a house museum with guided tours, but because so much of the stuff in the building is original, it was all just left there intact when the building closed. And because it's so immersive, we feel like it's really, truly a time capsule in a way that a lot of places are not.
So it's on the grounds of what was the Central State Hospital, and so did the hospital close after this became a museum?
Yeah, yes, it's sort of an interesting history. The hospital didn't close until 1994. This building closed in 1968, and so there were a few decades in between where this was a museum on the grounds of a functioning mental hospital. And so I've heard some stories from people who worked here during those years. It sounds like it was a fun and chaotic time.
Okay, right on. Can you tell us what is the mission of the museum?
The mission was updated a few years ago to include a couple of lines to reflect how important the history is. And so I know instead of I'm going to read it to you, that's okay. It begins, medical history is important. The past informs the present and inspires the future. Our mission is to present the rich medical history of Indiana by preserving the Old Pathology Building, collecting medical artifacts, and providing exhibits, publications, and programs.
Very good. This is a very interesting old room here. I was just wondering what other sorts of things might a visitor experience when they come to visit.
So inside this building, it's a very immersive tour, as I mentioned. Visitors to the Indiana Medical History Museum are stepping back in time to witness the beginnings of modern scientific medicine and psychiatry. On the tour, you'll learn about the history of Central State Hospital and the pathological department. You'll learn about the state of medicine at the time and how it factors into what was happening here in the building. And you'll learn, thanks to our Rehumanizing the Specimens exhibit, you'll learn about the patients themselves and their perspectives and their stories. That's a fairly new addition to our interpretation here. We also have the grounds. We have 6 acres of grounds here that include a medicinal plant garden that demonstrates over 130 species of plants. Some of them native to Indiana, some of them brought in by settlers. But they're all plants that traditionally have medicinal uses. In addition to that, we have a native tree arboretum. Our goal there is to have 2 trees of every species that's native to Indiana. I think it's just a hair over 100 species that we're shooting for. We have a prairie patch that is also a demonstration garden that features different grasses and native grasses and plants. And then this year, we are going to be launching our new pollinator garden that will provide food, shelter, and habitat for pollinating insects, birds like hummingbirds, bumblebees, things like that. So we're really excited about that.
Fantastic. Do you use volunteers for this?
We rely on volunteers to do a lot of Most of our tours are led by volunteer docents.
Wow.
So public and school groups come through the building, and we give guided tours because it's such a unique and in some ways potentially dangerous. With scaffolds everywhere. We're not like a museum that's behind ropes or behind glass. So things are more authentic in that way. So we only do guided tours. So we rely on docents for that. We also have volunteer greeters who check people in when they arrive. Sometimes they're selling merchandise in the gift shop table, things like that. And then coming soon, we're adding a new category of volunteer, and that is reading room attendants. We are going to be establishing regular reading room hours for our library and archive collection, and so we'll be looking for volunteers to fill that role as a reading room attendant.
Oh, okay. But now in the garden?
The gardens are volunteer run, but it's a separate group of volunteers. So we have a really great partnership with Master Gardeners of Marion County. And the woman that is our head gardener is also on our board. She's a retired pathologist and a master gardener, and so she has her own group of master gardener volunteers who maintain the grounds for us.
Cool. And where can we learn more about the museum and how to be involved?
We have a website where you can learn about things we have going on, upcoming programs, what ways you can help. That's www.imhm.org, and we also have an active Facebook and Instagram page.
Awesome, thanks so much. Yeah, we'll have all those links below, and check it out. Thank you.